Pelle Larsson player comparisons. We both have a best case and a worst case comp. We're going to try and convince each other that our comp is better than their comp. By the end of this video, we'll have a consensus. Best case player comparison for Pelle Larsson. What do you got?
Josh Hart, similar sort of undersized wing. I guess Pella's listed at 6'6", which for NBA standards is a little bit on the smaller side. I know he's got Hart's only 6'4", but that jack of all trades wing who is going to be a dog on the glass, who can do a little secondary playmaking. I know Hart's sort of been streaky from shooting throughout his career. I think Pella's got a little bit of an edge there, but I would say Hart's probably the better defender. So, but I think it could play out where he latches onto a good team, fits a role really well. Maybe someone tries to recreate the magic of this Arizona squad and lets it kind of like what the Knicks did with Villanova. And we maybe see him and I don't know, Kashad Johnson and Caleb Love play together one day. But yeah, how about yours?
That would require Caleb Love to get to the league, which he
I
seems
knew you were gonna say that.
well,
I
he
knew you
just
were gonna
seems
say
very inclined to not go to the league whenever he has the option. I give you credit for comparing him to someone who isn't Caucasian. I failed at that. I did the white on white comp for both best and worst case here. I feel good though. I think both of these are pretty archetypical. If that's is that a word? Archetypical?
I think it'd be archetypal.
Archetypal. There we go. Alex Caruso is what I landed on as a best case. So it sounds gross, but then
That
you
doesn't sound gross. I love Caruso.
okay. To me, like I'm like, yeah, I would hope he could be better than this. But if Caruso just like wasn't bald, I think people would take him a lot more seriously. 10 points a game, 4 rebounds, 3.5 assists, which is the important part to me because Pella's passing as a secondary guy matters. And he shot 41% from three this year. That's essentially exactly what I'm hoping Pelle Larsson becomes.
I just think that like for one, if Pella is Alex Caruso, if he has that type of impact, that's great for him because Caruso got paid. People
Mm-hmm.
forget that Bulls gave him a lot of money, and he's been a legit playoff guy, was a legit playoff contributor for an NBA champion. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's not gross at all. I just can't see Pella being as like disruptive on defense.
Yeah.
Caruso, you go back and watch those Lakers 2020 bubble games. Caruso was an absolute fiend on the defensive end. He just had a nose for getting steals and making plays off ball. And I mean, maybe Larson has some of that in his bag. Like I said, I think he was a plus defender at Arizona, but I don't know if I can get there all the way with him.
Yeah, it's fair.
But
Caruso definitely like earned more opportunity because it started with defense. And I don't know that Larson will be that, but at the same time, to flip it on you, I don't see Pelle Larson getting like 16 rebounds in a playoff game the way Josh Hart did.
that's
So
fair.
we're
Fair,
in
fair
between.
point.
We don't have to decide yet. Let's do our worst case player comp. What do you got?
DeAndre Bembry. Sort of that the do everything wing. Bembry's only 6'5", and a lot of his buckets were all off of cuts at the NBA level. And Pell's a really good cutter as well. I don't know if we even mentioned that in his scouting report, but yeah, if you look at Bembry's college stats at St. Joe's, he did a lot of the same playmaking to where you can point to Pella's assist numbers as well. Something that doesn't translate. Maybe he sticks in the league for 4 to 5 years and is always in the conversation of like, ooh, MLE or vet minimum contract, like young, do everything wing. Maybe this hits, and it never happens.
I like it. I can see it. I don't have many pushbacks on that. I think it's a good one. In my white on white worst case comp, this is the player that reminds me the most of Pella, genuinely, and I just landed on worse because I think he's worse than Alex Caruso. Christian Brown from Kansas, who is now a Nugget. Just like I said, Nuggets would be a great fit for him. Brown just kind of runs around and dunks in transition and makes open threes, and nobody asks him to do anything more than be the fifth option. But he's really smart and he's in the right spot and he never makes mistakes. That's Pella to a T. And they kind of like look and play alike too. I know I'm doing the look alike thing, but I think it's legit.
You also forgot one key part of Christian Brown's game. He runs around, hits threes, grabs boards, and screams, yells. Dude is a big.
And that's Pella to a T.
It's true. It is.
It's
I
Pella
still
stuff.
like, but the thing is, Christian Brown is good and has had big playoff moments to where I don't think that's low. I don't think that's a low enough floor for a second round pick.
Counterpoint. Well, I think this is what you said his best numbers would be, but Christian Brown's career numbers are 6-3-1. His numbers this year, the good year, were 7-3-1.
And that's what I said for Pella. That's what I said Pella's peak would be, though.
Yeah, but like you don't think
That's
Christian
a
Brown's his
good.
peak?
I think Christian Brown will be closer to his peak than his floor.
Oh
And we're
no.
arguing for worst case
Oh
scenario here.
no. Come on. Come on. That's
But
tough.
I don't I have Pelle Larsson 41st on my big board. Christian Brown at this range would be awesome. Like Christian Brown has legit playoff moments 2 years into his career. He's a
Yeah,
champion. He was playing rotation minutes on an NBA champion team as a rookie.
you're right. I'm not pushing back. I like Christian
I
Brown,
think Christian
but
Brown's really good.
he's not Josh Hart though.
He's not. You're right. You're right. I think Pelle Larsson could be better than Christian
So
Brown. That's fair.
do we split it and go Josh Hart and Christian Brown, or do we split it and go Christian Brown as the best comp and DeAndre Bembry?
Christian Brown as the best comp is kind of disrespectful. I can go with Caruso and Bembry. If we split, we do your best, my worst.
I would rather go Hart and Brown if that's what we're doing.
All right, let's do
You're
Hart
the
and
one who's
Brown.
high on him.
Let's do Hart and Brown then. Let's do Hart
Hart
and
and
Brown.
Brown. Okay.
I also kind of want DeAndre Bembry and his number 95 jersey to get the thumbnail edit. But at least I know Jacob will do Yeoman's work getting the Bembry pop up when I talk about my worst case.
Shout out to Jacob Karabatsos, who went on a date last night, is 2-0 in the NBA Finals with the Celtics at the time of recording this. Life is just turning up Karabatsos right now. Okay, that's the video. Josh Hart, Christian Brown, Pelle Larsson. Thanks to Riley Davis. Go watch the other ones on the channel. The NBA draft is coming up, and I've got something awesome for you. We are partnering with the people at NBA 2K Lab. NBA 2K is the best video game on earth. The people at 2K Lab are making some awesome stuff to make that game even more fun, and they just launched their 2024 NBA Draft Simulator, where you can find the official Sleepers Media big board. We ranked our top 75 players in this draft class. Me, Carter, Brian Ralph, Riley Davis. We did it together, and it is featured on the 2K Lab NBA Draft Simulator. You can take control of any team in the draft, play GM with just one click, and see our entire rankings before these videos even come out. Check out the link in the description of this video to try out the draft sim for yourself, and you can find more mini games at nba2klab.com/NBA-mini-games.